Hey there, it's Chris. Welcome back to the Yoshitaka Mono mobile platform project where, as you can see, I did a couple little changes on him since the previous painting session. The satin coat and kind of that more purpley kind of satin finish on his cloak wound up being, hey, it kind of looked like a rain jacket. So I went back, I redid it with a matte finish, and I added some kind of a little bit of brown and grays kind of to the mix to start to bring it back into the range of the rest of this whole model's color scheme. So we're a little closer than what we were before. So we're on the right trajectory. We're getting there. That said, goal of this session is, although there's a lot of touch-ups I still want to do on the platform itself, the idea is kind of finish off Mid himself and maybe bring him more into the color range that we are over here. So yes, we want him to be the focus of the whole thing, but we also need him to kind of stay within the color range of the model itself, which if we look at the whole thing here, you can see, yes, your eye goes to the hair and whatnot, but the rest doesn't stand out quite as much as this does. Probably I'm doing a number of washes and whatnot over things. Plus we have some detailing things we want to get done. That said, one of those little detailing things I would like to do is get the glasses done. So to do that, we have our super thin wire here, and all I'm going to do for that is wrap this around the end of the paintbrush, so we have at least one area. We can bring it over, so that gives one glass section. Bring over that. That gets us a second one. Cut off, so we have plenty of excess wire in here. And there we have really little glasses. And I think I'm going to stay with the clear, and I'm not going to add any additional actual glass to it, because that just winds up being problems of kind of gluing it in, getting glue on whatever material I'm using. So I'm just going to keep the clear on here. And that's really all we need to do to make those. Then the rest is just kind of fitting it, getting like the ear things on there correct. But no, that's how that kind of works. And I actually just did that off camera prior, and that's kind of what we wind up with in the end. So Mid is allowed to actually wear glasses. That said, attempting to put the glasses on kind of scratched up his face quite a bit, so I'm going to do an additional coat of paint on top of that in time, but that at least starts to give him his real look, so I'm happy with that. So if nothing else, I've actually made visual progress today, so yay. That said, going back onto here, before we bring him down, in terms of bringing color from here and kind of matching the rest, at the same time, I will be, in the probably next session or session after, I will be bringing some of these colors into this. Most particularly, you can see the shoes. Again, if I bring you, and kind of slide you over, you can see the shoe color kind of comes down into the scrolls on the side. It kind of comes down, at least on the back leg there, it kind of comes down to the shin. So some of these colors will be coming into this as well. Most particularly that shoe color. But I still think I need to tone that down just a little bit. Maybe add just like a touch of brown or a touch of gray or something to it to tone it down just a little so it's not conflicting with the hair itself. Which, let's bring you back over. The hair still has to be a little more vibrant than that. But yeah, but that's part of the game plan on that front. So there will be a little back and forth. I think what I want to do first is actually probably get those shoes toned down just a little bit. Where did I stick you? I want my pike. I want my pike to stick that on, and I need this. Whoop. So I can stick you on up there. Because we do have to put the additional details the little kind of pepperoni pieces on his shoes there. So I would like to get something going on that. Now, believe it or not, between sessions, I actually did tone this down a little bit. I added a little bit of kind of a gray and a little bit of the white just to kind of bring it down, but I don't think that was enough. So let's see. I'm just going to see. The white and gray didn't really do much, so I'm just going to add just like a touch of the terracotta here. I don't want to add much. It's just like a drop in here, just to kind of see if we can bring a little more of a neutral color into this. And I know the second you add anything to these, it just overpowers everything. So I'm just going to do minimal amounts at the start. Everything is in shadow. Okay, I'm not sure. Why is everything in shadow right now? It doesn't feel like it's supposed to be. Okay, I don't think that. I think I needed more than one drop. Let's go 2 more. I'll double the amount I had in here. Okay, not sure that toned much. I could add a touch of gray as well. Do I want the light gray or dark? You know what? We can just go a touch of dark. More than one. Alright, we'll double it. I'm just trying to do really little amounts because I know the second you add any kind of color to something, it just overpowers it. And I think that's a little better. It's still that kind of yellowy green kind of thing, but it's no longer as much in your face, I think, as it was before. So let's go add this to it real quick. I'm going to try to have a little more energy today than I had during the... Oh, I gotta bring the camera over here. Sorry, but I do have to kind of be halfway decent with how I cut things in at this point. Let's see, where can I hold you? I hold you there. Okay. I'm doing the whole glasses off thing, so we do have a little bit of that going for us right now, so we kind of just have to deal with it. And I could already see when I touched things up before, I did not touch up the bottom of the shoes. So, little whoops on that. That's going to need another coat. Although that was just the straight up terracotta. I didn't have to mix anything for that, so that should be pretty easy to do. Yeah, as I had predicted yesterday, I got not a whole lot done on this. I did kind of do some second coats on things and kind of cleaned a number of the areas up. But in terms of recording wise, as I figured on Saturday, nothing got done. So it's now Sunday, I'm recording this, and after I do this, I have like a 35-mile hilly bike ride to do. So that's gonna be great. Actually, it's not a bad ride. It's a very kind of scenic ride. Kind of goes through farmlands and hills and farm country and kind of stuff in between. It's a nice ride. But yeah, I'm not sure how this project is going to be finished at this point, in that I don't know if I'm going to continue doing the 3 days a week, or if I might just go really after. I think the next session is probably going to be doing astrolabe paths and getting those kind of on and get kind of the planets on the model kind of going again. But after that, it's a lot of kind of touch-up paint things. So I may do that and then just hold off and have like a grand finale final video. So this isn't like the penultimate one, but there could be one more normal one after this and then one to kind of finish it off. So I may or may not have a video going out in the middle of the week like I usually do. It might be just kind of do something for Saturday, and then I'll see when it gets finished after that. I'm not 100% sure what my upload schedule is, but at the same time, I'll be honest, I think after all the painting that occurred on this on the platform, nobody's really watching these anyway. So me changing the schedule, I know it will affect you if you're watching this right now, but in the vast majority of stuff, I think a lot of other people have moved on, hate to say. So for a number of people, this shouldn't affect too much. Okay. Let's maybe have this focused on something. All right, cleaning off the brush. Where did my towel go? Oh, jeez. It fell off the table when I was throwing things around and trying to move the platform on here. I need that to clean out my brush. My brush. Okay, so where did we want to go from here? I still am kind of tempted to do a really light kind of almost invisible stripes on these pants. So I'm going to pull up that color that I have here, and that's this one. All right, we got that. And do I want lighter or darker on this? I think I'm going to go just a hair darker on that, so I can add either... Actually, it might be just adding a little bit of the dark gray, bring a little more of the gray into this than the purple. That might be the way to go. And again, it might just be a couple drops, and that's really all it needs. It's one of the things that can be subtle. It doesn't need to be in your face. It's like if you look for it, you might be able to see it. If not, that's not a bad thing. So let me get myself a stirring stick as well. Could be useful. And we're just going to add just a couple drops to this. I see a third one coming. Okay. I'm going to see if I can see a change when stirring this, then that's going to be more than enough. Oh yeah, I can definitely see a change. Okay, so we do have a slight change. That's all we want. The main cloak is still kind of the main thing I would like to get to, but let's get some of these things done. Okay, now we're going to do the big bad of trying to freehand this thing, which could go really well, it could go really bad. So... we're just going to see how it works. Alright, I should be talking. Dead air just feels so wrong whenever I hear it. Once again, I had a fun time with the Ultra video. I think I've had a lot of fun, like the last month, those Ultra videos have been just a lot of fun to do. Just going out and actually getting outside, recording things, whether it's been the trail running or the obstacle course or the obstacle stuff, or just even just getting outside and doing the whatchamacallit, the transition bucket, just not sitting necessarily behind this camera like I have been in the past, and just yeah, getting out and doing stuff just feels more fun. I said actually triceps got a little bit sore from yesterday's video. I guess because I had gone over that obstacle like, I don't know, 5-10 times before the video started, just to kind of make sure I felt comfortable doing it, and I knew just trying to make things look as effortless as possible when I do it, so just trying to improve your form, make it seem right. It actually gave a little bit of a workout on that, even though it's not a particularly difficult obstacle, but if you do it enough, it can become harder. Okay. I think I'm putting too much paint on the brush, but that's okay in the end. I said, it's just a real subtle something. Adds a little bit of interest. This is also going to take up probably most of the time of this video, which I hadn't planned on. But that's fine. If this winds up taking 2 videos to finish this part, at the end of the day, we're still going to be hours faster than the Kai project I had done. Because that was 50 videos, and that one lasted, each one was roughly an hour long. There were a couple individual kind of shorter ones in there, but generally speaking, they were all an hour long. So that was around 50 hours worth of stuff. Right now we're at like episode 44 or something. I'd have to double check the number. And again, these are roughly 45 minutes long, so in terms of time, it is still kind of blowing my mind just how much more expedient this is than the other one was. You know what? I'm kind of liking this effect, even though I'm not wearing glasses right now. I can barely see it. But I'm hoping I'm on camera so you can see what I'm doing. I'm not looking up often enough to really know for sure. Yeah, my unofficial deadline for this is still Easter, or the day before Easter, so I should have no issue hitting that. I think I'm already in a place where I can present what we have. I just need to kind of attach a couple things to it. But I'm already in a place where I feel okay about presenting things. Because every year we hold annual Easter egg hunt for kind of, well, it used to be for like my brothers, my family, and our friends and all that, but back when we were in grade school. But that has long since passed. Grade school is long past us now, and it's kind of become, it's a good time to get together with see people we haven't seen in a while, get kind of the neighborhood together, and just, yeah, it's been over 35 years. We still have this Easter egg hunt going, and yeah, it's just a good time to get together with everyone. So it's also a really good time to kind of break out these types of projects when they get done, so they can kind of go, ooh, ah, and everyone kind of has their own thing they do. They kind of bring to the hunt, whether it's like stories of what's happening or food stuff they've made. Everyone kind of has their own kind of thing they bring. And my little contribution is I kind of bring the latest one of these guys now, starting about 4 years ago. Let's not get stuff stuck on here. No good comes of that. And it would be nice to have this guy done so that I can really bring it off. Okay, I can see as it's drying, you don't really see much of anything. And that's also not terrible. That was kind of the idea. It just gives a slight visual interest and no more than that. Get in there. Yeah, it looks all different when it kind of goes on nice and wet, but no, this is a matte finish. It's not a shine, and it's not going to be treated as a shine. Like I said, it's just enough to look kind of cool. Ooh, stop doing that. Once again, no good is coming to that. How do I grip this without like over gripping this? The main question. Alright, there we go. We got this. We got this. One pant leg done. We got one more to go. Not 100% sure which ultra topic I want to do for the fitness video next week. I still have 4 weeks to go, and I have like 2 more videos I can kind of plan on doing to kind of lead up into it, although One of the two I can kind of do whenever. The other one is probably more appropriate for almost like the final week leading up or the second to last week leading up. So I still have a free kind of slot that I can think of for filling with something else. I could do additional obstacles on there. There are a couple that I can still pop in and do. I could just do a training update, but frankly, I don't think anybody really got much out of the training side of things. I'm just looking at the visuals on who's been watching what, and it seems like more recently there's been more kind of engagement on like the last few of just doing like the trail running or the obstacle stuff as there was to the videos that are more just kind of labeled as, oh, here's a training update one, here's how I'm doing it, because I tend not to give a lot of specifics on those. And I guess that part of that's the fear that at the end of the day, I'm a builder. I'm not a fitness expert. I don't work in the fitness field. I don't want to have lead somebody down the wrong way on a number of things. I don't want to injure people in the end. So I tend to kind of play things safe on that regard, and I kind of give maybe a framework to work from, but don't give actual specifics on, oh, you should do this workout, this workout, this workout. And I think because of that, there's less interest in that type of viewership. Because again, if you're clicking on those, it's because you probably actually want to see, oh, how do you actually do this type of thing? And it's, I don't know, I guess it's just that little bit of fear that I could be leading somebody a wrong way in terms of, yeah, the specifics, and I don't want to actually have something lead to injury. So doing these kind of obstacle things has been a little more fun. They're more fun to do, and I think more people are enjoying watching those. So I might do one more obstacle related video. And okay, looking at it now, I don't know if you can see the differences on camera. I can kind of see the differences off camera, and I think that gave, like I said, just enough to make it a little more interesting. It's not just a flat plane on there. Okay, next I should probably do those pepperonis that go on his shoes, because we got to get that part done. I know I keep kind of putting off the books, but or not the books, the cloak. The book is on the list too, because right now he's reading a blank page on his book. That's not good. If you're gonna have a book, you might as well read something. And let's see, if I'm just looking real quick at my own image on the computer here, they're kind of a reddish something. Let's see what we have. I have orange spice. Orange spice on its own might just actually work for that. And how dense are the pepperonis on here? Not super dense. Okay, we still want a predominantly, whoop. We still predominantly want the yellowish, whatever color is showing, but I think this one we kind of, don't tip that over. All right, get out of here. Okay, little tiny circles. We can do this. Can we do this on camera? Where is camera? Camera's here. I'm feeling comfortable holding it right there. Let's do that. Okay, this could make things really good. This could make things really bad. Now, they're not super dense and they're not super big. But this is definitely going to change the way it looks, and I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. But it's going to be whatever it's going to be now. At the worst sense, it's paint. It can always be painted over if we don't like this. That's the best part of paint things. If things don't work, we can always paint right back over. Like that platform, I can still keep painting for the God knows how many times now. It's all good. Alright, we got this. Okay, if nothing else, we have glasses on him today, so I made progress. None of this other stuff, all this other stuff is just bonus. Not that it doesn't matter, it's just bonus now. We got glasses. He's now cool. He's got that nerdy kind of cool look. Okay, so we got one shoe done. Let's get shoe number 2. I have this strange thing. I want to look at my watch. It's going to say like a half hour is gone. I'm going to realize that I'm not even going to get started on the main event I wanted to get started on. My entire goal today was kind of bring that cloak kind of into the color range. And I can't wait to find out that I don't even get to the cloak at all. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. All right, and there we go. Let's go and put this thing back. Come on, get in the hole. All right, we are just about 28 minutes in. Oh, man. Yep, we're not getting the stuff I want to get done. That's fine. That's all good. We get all this other stuff done. That's just as good. And I will very likely then have a session going out on Thursday. Because I do want to get this painting done. And this painting is nice to actually have on camera. Because this painting feels like things are going in the right direction, which I'm okay with. It's just sometimes some of the other stuff doesn't. Now, if we come back to Mid himself here, we look at his face. And do I still have the close up on the face here? Yeah, you can see he has that red nose, and it might give him just a little bit of something on the cheeks too. And again, if this doesn't work and this looks really, really bad, then I can always repaint it with the buff. So I'm going to go take some of the natural skin color here, I'm going to mix just a little bit of red, or kind of the red I just used, into it. Hello? Hold on. That was cool. Okay. Right. No. Okay, I want enough in here. All it's going to be is just like a couple drops of this. But I need enough in there. Whoa. That if I add even just a drop of this to it, it's not going to overwhelm the thing. I want something subtle. I don't want this to be like a super in-your-face deal. I do want this to be fairly subtle. I little bit redder, but it's not going to be as in your face as, say, the image on the side there is. When did I put that image on the side? Although that image also kind of works. Let's see, let's take the glasses off and not lose those glasses because they are freaking hard to find. I already dropped them on the floor once by accident and they are impossible to find. Okay, so if I'm here, I keep things down there. We're kind of on camera. Let's see what we can do. Give him just a little bit more of that. The red nose. And I wonder, I can repaint this over again. Does it help putting a little bit on the cheeks too, or is that just a little bit kind of much? Cheeks might be a little much. Yeah, cheeks might have been just a little much, but it's got that little bit on the nose. I missed this. How did I miss a spot? Like I said, I need to touch up part of this face anyway, because trying to get just playing with the glasses right before I turned this whole camera on, this kind of scratched up a lot, so going to need to do some touch-ups on that. Okay, head goes back on this little spike. I might as well throw this in plastic, because why not? Why is the plastic way over there? I'm not gonna say no to the cheeks just yet on this. Maybe with the glasses it will work, because again the glasses kind of change the way things feel. So we're gonna give that a test run first before we give it a yay or nay. Okay, so that's in there. I want to see, what did I use on you? I just used the dark gray on that color for the book. So we get to come back here to... Actually, I'm saying come back to. I don't think I've even touched this guy yet. So it would help if it was actually, I don't know, reading a book that had stuff you could read. So the other book, if we come back to this one here, was done in just a dark gray for that lettering. And let's see if we can kind of do the same on this. Once again, we're going to be doing this. I need to stop moving things around. It would make things much easier if I were to stop moving things around. Okay, here we don't want really anything on the brush. I also need to hit the page, might be good. Come on. Depth perception, you can do it. too much paint. Too much paint. That's just going to make a blob. Last thing we want is a blob. Come on. Yeah, you need to hit the page like ever so slightly, just so you can make a mark, but you don't want to actually make any kind of blob things on here. Come on. Alright, we got a little bit on that. And need a little more text on the other page. Okay, we're almost there. Almost got this thing through. This is, like I said, 100% not how I planned on this video going. But, alright, we got ourselves a little bit of a blob. We knew it was going to happen. Okay, so at least he has something he's reading now, so that's a plus. Click in. Okay. Yeah, the pants don't look like much has happened on them, but if you do look in closer, I'm not sure the camera catches it, but if you do look in closer, you can see a difference on that. So, if you can't, well, it is what it is. It did add a slight texture to it. Okay, where are we? We're 38 minutes. I don't really want to do any kind of big drastic things at this point. So, actually what I could have done before is, where's that yellow? I know on the image it's not there. I can put the little buttons on. And if I'm going to make those buttons, I might as well bring some of this color into that. So didn't think about that before. Might be good. Too much, too much, too much, too much, too much. Don't want to overload this. Okay, there we go. Got that. Let's get number 2. Yeah, usually by now I'd kind of give you an idea of, oh, here's my hint on what the next project's going to be, but I keep changing my mind all the time. So I do think the next one's probably going to start after my Ultra is done. So I might be gone for better part of a month in terms of model videos, because the Ultra takes place... Actually, what's today's date? I can't see when I have the stopwatch going on. I think today is the 22nd. It's pretty much exactly a month to the day, I think, of when this video goes live. So yeah, once that's done, I'm going to have all kinds of free time after that. Because I have no hard schedule fitness-wise, race-wise, kind of after that. Because usually I just do one big thing per year, and then I kind of fill in with smaller stuff around that. So this is my big one right now for this year, unless it goes really well and I want to give Killington another try. But for my own kind of planning purposes, this was kind of it. Okay, does that give a little more visual interest to that? Yeah, it gives a little more visual interest. We made it to the 40-minute mark. I'm kind of thinking, rather than rush through and do the cloak stuff I had wanted to do before, I may just hold off and do that on the next session, and then maybe combine the cloak stuff, kind of toning that down, with adding some of these colors into the platform itself. Just have that be maybe the next session. So one more kind of painting session, and then we'll get into, yeah, really it's the astrolabe stuff. And once the astrolabe stuff's done, we're kind of done. And at some point too on this platform, I need to make a choice. I can either have yellow tassels or black tassels. On the image on the side, they're black. I thought of bringing the yellow because it has the yellow stuff here, but I need to make a choice one way or the other. The two-tone thing there is really, I think, the largest issue of what's really bothering me on that platform. So I do need to get narrowed down on that, kind of. The sooner the better. But let's see, let's just kind of get you back together. Let's see if we can pop this on so we get a good idea of how everything did or did not work. And this is where things get a little more difficult than they should be. Because, you see, Mid doesn't apparently like to wear glasses, and it's kind of difficult to get him to actually put them on. But come on, you were legitimately fitting before. Arg. Oh, all right, I think we're closer. Well, we're close. I'm gonna be playing with that off camera. It's not worth fighting it on camera. We can play with it off camera. But why are you so bad? Why are you so bad? Okay, I need this to bend in. Okay, we're both kind of in there. This one, at least, the one ear, at least the hair is out of the way enough that it will go kind of how it's supposed to. The other ear doesn't work as well that way. So if I can at least get, there we go. We're good enough. Not touching it anymore. There we go. There we have them. It looks pretty okay like that. And yeah, fixing up and just painting this part here, the skin tone, really helped a lot too. So yeah, next time, I definitely want to get the cloak going. And yeah, it's a shame. I'm pretty sure on camera, it's very subtle in real life. I'm pretty sure on camera is not catching the differences on that, which is probably got to be a shame, because that was half the video. But well, that's kind of what we're turning into at this point. We getting there. Just about done. Like I said, we're in the home stretch. Just a couple more sessions. Next time, one more painting. Next time, one more painting session. Then hopefully time after that, we're going to start bringing these things around and at least get them drilled out and made. And then probably it's going to be maybe one more finale kind of session after that. But we'll see. We're close. And it ought to be good. And until next time, until the next time comes, enjoy.